Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and I'm here at the Transvulcania Ultramarathon finish. I'm here with third place finisher Blake Hose of Australia. Congratulations!
Thank you very much.
How's it going?
I'm worn out, but I'm really satisfied, really happy. Yeah, I didn't expect today, so it's pretty cool.
I'm not sure that anybody would have called you for a podium position today.
No, I don't think I did.
I mean,
Yeah.
Would you have called yourself for one?
No, I don't think so. Given how deep the field was,
Yeah.
I sort of thought maybe if I have a really good day, I could sneak into the top 5. But yeah, it's exceeded my expectations. So
That's awesome. I mean, you just looked strong all day when we saw you, start to finish. And among the men's top 10, you were among the strongest on the final descent. Did you feel good all the way through? What happened?
I felt pretty amazing back at the start, as you do after you've had a taper. But it sort of just continued on. And I felt really strong right up until El Pilar, and I still didn't begin to feel bad. But I was just a little tired. Climbed pretty quick up to there, and I just, the other guys took off a little bit there. There was 4 guys ahead: Demetrius, Dakota, Zach, and Lewis, and I just ran my own pace along that section.
Yeah.
I didn't, I find that's sort of the only way for me to go about these races is just to sit into my own rhythm and try not to stress if people pass you or people are catching you. And my plan for the day, I think, just like everyone else's plan, is to try and save some for the descent.
Yeah.
And when I got up to the top, I got a good kick of energy. I was pretty stoked to be going down. so I just kept it rolling and tried to make sure that, my coach back in Australia said, he's like, need to make it feel like you're always running when you're going down, like not just coasting. So I tried to keep it like that and picked up a few places, which was really cool.
Okay. Awesome. So we got the peanut gallery
Paul
watching
Hamilton.
it. Oh, Paul. So we watched you through the first 30K or so through Raviton, and you were the shadow to the top 4 guys who were running together pretty close to each other. You were just there a couple minutes behind them each time we saw you before that. When did things start to change? When did you sort of become in contention with those guys?
Quite late.
Okay.
Yeah. The gap, if anything, just got bigger from there until Roca.
Okay.
At
about 50K.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
30 more, or 20 more K, you were still sort of playing in their shadow a bit.
I think I was a fair way back on Zach and Lewis at that point.
Okay.
I think they'd really worked those climbs, and I could see Demetrius, and I could just in the distance see Dakota as I was getting to as I was about a K or so from the summit.
Okay.
And I actually went back into 7th in that point. Manuel Maria passed me.
Yeah.
And so did Danny, who just was storming.
Okay.
Yeah, he passed me on the climb, and it was a bit embarrassing. He was going so fast. But I just, like I said before, I just tried to play it calm and not stress about it, and I just kept climbing my own rhythm. And once I think when I saw Dakota up at Roca, I thought maybe not having the best day for him, and I could see Demetrius, and Manuel was just ahead of me too, so I knew then that I was in with a chance to get back into the top 5.
Yeah.
So I just once I hit the descent, I just started working it, and I passed Manuel, I passed Demetrius at the aid station, so it's 2 places, and then I passed Dakota a few kilometers down the descent, and then Zach right near the bottom. I didn't expect to see him. I thought he was going to go on with Lewis.
Okay.
But it was. Yeah, that's basically it. And then I just groveled for the last 10 kilometers over the climb. I was in hell, but it's too hot.
Well, when I saw you at 62K, you had about 500 meters of descent left, and you were just right behind Zach. And Zach was looking a little cooked and a little dainty going downhill, and you were just in total hammer mode. When did you pass him, and when did you kind of let thoughts of the podium start creeping into your mind?
When I passed him, I thought, his quads were having a bit of trouble with the descending, and mine were okay. I knew I was getting really tired, but after I went by him, I thought, you never know in these races.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on behind me on the descent. Someone could just be storming it.
Yeah.
And making up minutes, and I don't know. But I saw after I passed Zach, I thought, I fucking gap him, and then hold on. I might be good for a top 3. So I tried not to get too excited though.
Yeah.
I just tried to focus on my food and water and making sure I held it together.
And you probably didn't know, but there was a bit of a little storm session going on behind you with 3rd through, I believe it was 6th place. These guys trading places in a sprint finish in there. But somehow, despite, I'm sure that they were like working each other to the very edge, you stayed several minutes in front of them the entire time. So you must have been feeling just about as good as they did.
Yeah, well, I didn't feel bad. I felt bad because it's an ultra. You always feel bad at the finish. But I'd done the climb. I did the climb last week a couple of times, the last climb, and the riverbed, which was probably worse than the climb. The soft sand again. I was so happy to see the back end of that on the first climb. But I still felt like I was moving okay on the last climb. Like I got to Tazacorte and got some water, got wet again.
Yeah.
That was the key. I think keeping really wet, and then I just hit the climb and sort of, grit my teeth. And I figured if I ran about a third of it or ran 2/3 and walked the rest, that I shouldn't get caught.
Okay.
So that was what I went with.
Awesome. Well, you have had some previous success sort of working the trail racing landscape, in your home country, in your homeland.
Yeah.
This is definitely a huge breakout on the international scale for you. I have to ask, what's next? What do you do now that this has happened?
I think hopefully it'll open up a few opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually haven't planned the back half of my year yet because I've done 4 races already. The Europeans, they've sort of come from the snows. I haven't raced, but I already raced at the Cycling 50K in Hong Kong.
Okay.
I raced another smaller scale race in Australia, which is a mountain marathon, and then I did Buffalo Stampede in Australia.
Just a month ago, about, right?
Yeah, it was a month ago.
Yeah.
So, but that race it's a really good one for training because it's predominantly uphill, so it's easy to recover from. And then I've come here and done this race as well, so time for a little bit of downtime, and then I don't know, hopefully get over to Europe or the US later in the year.
Okay. Do you have any particular race on your mind, or are you just sort of waiting to see which doors come open now?
No, I was thinking of the rut.
Okay.
See how that goes. I don't know how I'd handle the altitude though, to be honest. I found I was breathing heavy up there today, and I didn't feel like I was moving very fast. So,
at 8,000 feet?
Yeah, it wasn't even high. So,
you gotta go a bit higher for the run.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe, I don't know, I thought about Sierra Zanal too. I think that's a race that would probably suit my strengths a little bit.
Okay.
Dolomites, who knows? There's so many these days that I'd be happy to go to anyone and race. But I'll
race directors, he's looking for a race.
But I'll definitely be keeping it shorter. This is my longest race of the year.
Okay.
I want to develop my speed and over short distance first. So.
Well, right on, and congratulations on your huge breakout here with 3rd place at Transvulcania. You're a young guy on the up and up, so I truly look forward to seeing what comes next and what you can do. So congratulations again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.